What up, YouTube? It's your boy GB here. Today I'm coming at you with a new deck profile video, and this is of my Odd Eyes Magician link format deck profile. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. Alright, now, first, the dragons, obviously. You're going to run 3 Odd Eyes Pendulum dragons, the star of the deck, basically. That goes without saying. And now the new Odd Eyes support card. 2 Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragons. Now I run 2 of these because I feel like 3 would kind of bulk up the deck. And if you run 1, you're never going to see it unless you get a card that can search for it. So I decided to run 2. Now this is great because say if you have Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon in your extra monster zone, you tribute it with Sky, or you destroy it with Sky Iris, add an Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand, then or Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, whichever. Basically, you'll get it back with this, and if it's Odd Eyes Absolute, you'll be able to use its graveyard effect too. So basically, you get 3 monsters for the price of 1. This is great in link format. Alright, next up, since this deck has so many Odd Eyes cards, 1 Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. I just run 1 of these because I felt like it would, again, bulk up the deck if there was more. This is easily searchable, so so many Odd Eyes cards, you can just Pendulum Summon, attack, then burn for 2400. Now the extra deck killer, Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. Now this, I'm running it 1 because I feel like I don't have many extra deck options with this, so yeah. I just keep this at 1, I can still easily search off of it. Alright, next, 2 Odd Eyes Mirage Dragons. Now, I have these at 2 because these not only protect my Odd Eyes monsters from battle, but also I'm easily able to get a level 7 Synchro Dragon out on the field, whether it be Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, Clear Wing Fast Dragon. It doesn't really matter, but basically I can, with these Pendulum summoned, I can easily get Nirvana High Paladin on the field, then add that dragon back from my graveyard to my hand, and then basically I didn't have to pay anything for Nirvana. So that's why I have 2 of these. Alright, so that's it for the dragons. Now on to the magicians. Alright, 1 Stargazer Magician. Now I had this at 2 because of its spell defense effect, but I feel like not many people are going to be backfielding spells, mostly traps. So I took 1 of these out for Odd Eyes Persona. Now, since people are going to be running traps, 2 Time Gazer Magicians. This has saved my ass on many occasions. This basically makes sure when your Pendulum monsters attack, they can't activate Mirror Force, Magic Cylinders, anything. Anything trap related. Basically, they can't activate trap monsters either. So this is really good. And now the one that makes the Xyz Pendulum monsters easily accessible, Zhang Ke Magician. So yeah, this can also negate the effect of light monsters. So if you already have this Pendulum summoned out on the field, or if you can find a way to quick summon it during like your draw phase or standby phase, if say Buster is out on the field, you can negate that and it can't activate its Spanish effect until the main phase. So basically it can't do anything. So yeah, it's really good that way. It also works wonders with Cyber Dragon decks too. Now, Zhang Zheng Magician. This is also good for if you have Dark Rebellion and Odd Eyes, as Yuya did. He has Zhang Ke and Zhang Sheng. Basically, treat Dark Rebellion as a monster with a level with Zhang Zheng, or with Zhang Ke. Then increase its level with Zhang Zheng, and then boom, Odd Eyes Rebellion or Odd Eyes Raging. Next up, 2 Dragon Caller Magicians. This also makes it easier to summon those Xyz Pendulum monsters, seeing as it can treat itself as a dragon. And if you have the other one in your Pendulum scale, you can also make sure that your opponent has a dragon monster that you can battle. So basically, you can just inflict, if it has 0 attack, you can just inflict 6,000 points of damage easily. Alright. Next up, 2 Noble Dragon Magicians, the recyclable tuners of the deck. Now, I had this at 3, but because it can just basically summon itself from your hand or graveyard, and it can just keep doing it over and over if you find a way to keep sending it to the graveyard or to your hand, and you have Odd Eyes monsters out on the field. But I feel like you don't really want to draw into this originally. You want to search this. I mean, this is great if you have Twin Twisters in your hand, but not so great if you have anything else. So that's why I knocked it down to 2. Alright, next, Timebreaker Magician. Now this is great for clearing things like trap monsters, tokens, because it makes sure they just stay gone. But this is also great for freeing up your extra monster zone. Basically, if you have a whole bunch of monsters in your main monster zones and one in your extra monster, and you don't really need the monster in your extra monster zone right now, just activate this effect, banish both it and this card, and that frees up space for you to keep using your extra monster zone. Also works with your opponent too, so basically whichever one you like. Alright, now for the one that can transform itself into any scale you want, 3 Wisdom Eye Magicians. I'm so glad this is back up to 3. It's just, I see this in pretty much every hand I pull now because it's back up to 3. This is just great. Basically becomes anything you need. Next, triple Oath Dragon Magicians. Now this is the great recycler of the entire Odd Eyes deck. This just brings something back from your extra deck to your hand so that you can Pendulum summon it if your extra monster zone is already full. So, yes, I don't really have Link monsters in this deck because I feel like that would kind of slow it down. And considering the recovery and freeing up of the extra monster zone options, I feel like I don't really need Link monsters. So, this Odd Eyes Arc, a whole bunch of cards that I figured they have it covered. Alright. Now, Dharma Eye Magician. It's just great because basically if this is Pendulum Summon this turn, your opponent can't Mirror Force you or destroy your monsters, anything like Widespread Ruin. Basically, this is just a shield, so that's why I have it in here. Now, 1 Harmonizing Magician. I have one in here because I can use this to make any level 7 or level 8 Synchro monster that I want. I only have 1 level 8, but options, so. Alright. Oh, and also, this guy's Pendulum effect. If you can get a bunch of Magician monsters in your Pendulum zone, or I mean not in your Pendulum zone, in your extra deck, wow, the power boost this gives. Just wow. Alright, now the Monster Destroyer, Dragon Pulse Magician. This has saved me quite a few times, and it's also great for Dark Rebellion. It's pretty much the only rank 4 monster I have, but it's the only one I need because of how easy it is to get my hands on level 4s. And its counterpart, the Spell and Trap Destroyer, Dragon Pit Magician. These two both work wonders with Noble Dragon. Basically, activate one of their effects, destroy either a monster or a spell or trap on the field, depending on which one you pull. Then have an Odd Eyes monster out on the field, reduce its level by 3, summon Noble Dragon back, tune into something you need, and yeah, that's just great. All the stuff you can do with this. Alright, now onto the Performa Pals of the deck. Alright, 2 Odd Eyes Performa Pal Odd Eyes Synchron. This is great. This can make anything become a tuner. This is so majestic. And next up, Odd Eyes Dissolver. Basically, it's another fusion card. I only have Odd Eyes Fusion in here, and I can only use it once per turn. But with this, I can fuse twice, so I can make Odd Eyes Venom Dragon very easily. Plus, I can even use this on the field to bring it Starving Venom and then just go into Odd Eyes Fusion. So whichever you want. Now, sometimes you want to bring back one of those monsters, one of the Odd Eyes monsters back from your extra deck. Odd Eyes Venom, Odd Eyes Rebellion, Odd Eyes Raging, Odd Eyes Wing if it ever comes out. So you'll want to run a high scale, a really high scale. So that's where 5 Rainbow Magician comes in. I mean, it's easy to get in the graveyard, but it otherwise bulks up the deck if you run any more than one. That's why I just run one. Alright, next, Performance Pal Skull Crobat Joker. Now, I have another one in the side deck, but I plan on... it fell over. I plan on just switching that between Zhang Magician and this, so... yeah, whichever I need, depending on my opponent. And now the only non... damn it, it keeps falling over. Stop it. Alright, you're good now? Okay, there you go. Alright. Now the only non-Pendulum monster in the deck, Tuning Magician. It's really good. This can actually make Odd Eyes Wing Dragon or Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon really easily. I feel like that's a kind of a loophole with Odd Eyes Wing. It didn't say it has to be an Odd Eyes monster. So I guess they didn't think about that. You can tune this with Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, Clear Wing Fast Dragon, whichever. So yeah, alright, that's it for the monsters. Now on to the spells of the deck. 2 Odd Eyes Fusion. Now I had this at 3, but like I said before, I feel like Performance Pal Odd Eyes Dissolver has this covered, so that's why I knocked it down to 2. And 2 Pendulum Call. Now I usually pull one of these from my deck for my starting hand pretty much every single time. So that's why I keep it at 2. Any more or any less will throw the deck off balance. Now you definitely want to run 3 of this. Sky Iris. Searches any Odd Eyes monster and protects your scales from harm. This is the best field spell for this deck. Alright, and something that functions in the same way, Spiral Flame Strike. You can also use it to destroy any card on your opponent's field, or just any card on the field, as long as you have an Odd Eyes monster. Now, backfield is a big vulnerability in this deck, and I feel like Dragon Pit can't handle it alone, so that's why I have 2 Twin Twisters. Once Localized Trunade actually comes out as a card, I'm probably going to take one of these out and put that in its place. But until then, yeah, I have 2 Twin Twisters here. Alright, so that's it for the spells. Now, this deck isn't very trap heavy, but it has some. Alright. Storming Mirror Force. This is great. Just returns any monster on attack position monster on your opponent's field to the hand. So if he has a bunch of extra deck monsters like Link monsters, or somehow manages to get a whole bunch of DDD monsters from the extra deck, God, I hate those things. You can just shuffle them right back to the extra deck with this. Same thing works with Drowning Mirror Force, and that's why I have it sided. So depending on my opponent, I'll just go into the second round and then just switch this between Storming and Drowning. So yeah. Now, 2 Solemn Strike. Basically, pay a few of your life points to interrupt your opponent. This is great. I'm so glad this got a reprint. It would have been so expensive otherwise. I would have probably been stuck with Solemn Warning. Not that I'm complaining. And the Banishing card. Bottomless Trap Hole. This is great. You can banish anything you want with this. Well, as long as it has 1500 attack or more. Basically, Buster Dragon, or ABC Buster Dragon, yeah, I think. And you can banish Masterpiece, anything. This has saved me many times. Alright, so that's it for the main deck. Now on the extra deck. I usually run like 1 or 2 of each of these monsters, so just I just feel like it's a good balance either way. Alright, since there's so many dark monsters in here, and I also, for nostalgic reasons, wanted to make a Dimension Dragons deck just like Yuya, I put Starving Venom Fusion Dragon in here. Now this, all the Dimension Dragons fit this deck perfectly. So yeah, this is great. Basically steal a monster's effect, gain attack, and then boom. And if you do destroy it with Sky Iris, destroy every special summoned monster your opponent controls. That makes this combination great. And of course, if I'm running Starving Venom, I'm obviously running Odd Eyes Venom. This is pretty easy to make, since I have so many Odd Eyes options and I can get Starving Venom out pretty easily. This is also easy to make. So basically, just once per turn, take the attack, take the effect, attack, bam, inflict massive damage. I feel like this is actually better in the Monster Zone than in the Pendulum Zone, and I feel like Nirvana High Paladin is better in the Pendulum Zone than in the Monster Zone. What do you guys think? Alright, well, moving on. 2 Odd Eyes Vortex Dragons. This is great. This can pop anything on your opponent's field, as long as it's in attack position. So basically, if you have Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon and you're going up against ABC, let ABC destroy Odd Eyes Absolute, then use its effect to summon this from your extra deck, pop ABC. Boom. I've done that many times. I'm very, very proud of these cards. Alright, now on to the Synchro monsters. 1 Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Now this, if you're going up against a Blue Eyes deck, this and its upgraded form are great. This is why I have them, in case there's just really high level monsters that your opponent uses. Plus it's easy to make with Odd Eyes and Noble Dragon Magician. And you can make this easily with Tuning Magician, Clear Wings or Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I'm so glad this got a reprint too. Now I can finally afford it. I am really waiting for Odd Eyes Wing Dragon to come out. I'm probably gonna side this and then put main Odd Eyes Wing and then just alternate between the two depending on what my opponent has. So yeah, this is just like a big Hulk in this deck. It has plenty of Hulks. Alright, now 2 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragons. This basically prevents flip effects from activating. So, screw you, Sub-Terrors. Alright. 1 Enlightenment Paladin. It's easy to make with Harmonizing Magician or Tuning Magician and any level 7 Magician. So basically, it's easy to get a spell to use its spell card recycle effect in this deck. And its counterpart, Nirvana High Paladin. This is great. This, if you've seen my previous Invasion of Vengeance sneak peek video, this is what saved my ass. This card, I owe it big time. So of course I was going to put it in this deck. Alright. That's it for Synchros. Now on to Xyz. Alright. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Easily able to be made. And the Pendulum Xyz monster, Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. Now this, I feel, and Odd Eyes Raging Dragon both have their own unique advantages depending on the deck. So that's why I have one of each. Yeah, so if your opponent just has a few low-level monsters, just summon this out, inflict damage, and then 3 attacks. You can. This is a final smash, basically. Whereas its counterpart, Odd Eyes Raging Dragon, just destroys everything on the field and gains attack. It can attack twice. So basically, if your opponent has a lot of stuff, a lot of card protection, this is great. It can get rid of it all. And lastly, Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. This is my favorite of the Xyz monsters. This can you can just bring Odd Eyes monsters, like extra deck monsters, back from your graveyard with this. And then once it's out of overlay units, just pop it and then summon another one from your extra deck. Or like Odd Eyes Rebellion, Odd Eyes Raging, Odd Eyes Vortex, whatever you need. Alright, now onto the side deck. Alright, this video is almost... Oh, wow, this video is over 20 minutes long now. Alright, now I'm going to hurry it up. Alright, so for the side deck, two Odd Eyes Lancer Dragons, and to get over some opponent's monsters, a couple of Kaijus, Skull Acrobat Joker, a Duelist Alliance that I can switch with any spell, 2 Wavering Eyes, another Spiral Flame Strike, Pendulum Switch, Drowning Mirror Force, and for the extra deck monsters, Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon, Clearwing Fast Dragon. Some scenarios merit Clearwing Synchro Dragon, some merit Clearwing Fast Dragon. That's why I switched them. All right. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. This is pretty easy to make, and it has awesome banishing effects. And number 11, Big Eye, basically the Monster Thief. Alright, so if you guys like this deck profile and you're new to the channel, please click the like and subscribe buttons. Every subscription helps my channel grow just that much. And I'm going to start recording tomorrow at 10 when the sneak peek opens up. So, until then, this is Jibby. Peace out.